Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to upcycle an old plastic container. If you follow me on Instagram, you must have seen that I have relocated to Ahmedabad and the flat that I moved in had lots and lots of plastic stuff from the previous tenant. So instead of throwing them out, I have decided to upcycle them and use them for various purposes. I've started by demarcating a line. I'm using a masking tape for that. You can also use a normal tape. Here I'm using Camel acrylic paint. But again, that's my personal choice. You can also use any other brand. I most commonly use Faber Castell and Camel. But I feel that Camel has a more opaque finish. Next, I am using a sponge to evenly spread and dab the paint throughout. This is to ensure that the lines are not visible in my painting because of the bristles. I've removed the tape and in the remaining part, I'm going to paint white. I started with my sponge, but then I realized that first I should demarcate a line. So I'm using my brush. I'll apply the basic coat with a brush. I'm using a flat brush here because I want to cover as much space as possible. Next, I'm using my sponge to evenly dab the paint. In case you do not have a sponge, what you'll have to do is apply multiple coats to make the paint even and hide the lines because of the bristles. Now I'm painting these freehand flowers at the junction of red and white. So without much planning, I'm just dipping my brush in white paint and then red paint and making these petals. When I'm making the petal on white part, I'm taking more of red. And when the petals are on the red part, I'm taking more of white. But they are completely freehand and I'm using the same brush. So it has a little bit of red, little bit of white. And it is coming as a very unique texture. You can see the red and white, they are not clearly demarcated. And since I'm using the same brush to dip in both the paints, they are coming out beautifully. You can plan these flowers or you can also choose another design that you want. But this is one of the simplest that you can do. Simply using a normal round brush, dipping in both the paints and creating these freehand flowers. You can see how beautifully the red and white are merging together to create these beautiful flowers. The number of petals I've kept to 5, but you can definitely increase or decrease as per your choice. You can see now I have painted these beautiful flowers at the junction of white and red. This is how it looks right now. I let it dry. The next step is I am painting some beautiful leaves. So what I'm doing is I have taken a round brush. I'm starting the leaf, putting pressure and then little bit spreading it and making it longer. Again, I'm not planning these leaves. It's just applying different level of pressure that is creating these leaves. I'm starting with very light pressure, increasing and then slowly picking up my brush. This is one of the easiest leaves that you can draw. You just have to have a good control over the amount of pressure that you are applying on the brush. No planning is required. I'm drawing these leaves freehand. just how I drew my flowers. Now I'm adding some very small random leaves here and there to make it more fuller. Adding some more elements on both the sides. And this is the final look. Now for the top, I wanted to add some sort of thread. And I'm a very jugadu person. I did not have a thread with me. So I'm using the handle of my Blinkit delivery bag. Blinkit gives a paper bag that comes with this handle. And this is the final outcome. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more of such videos, and if you loved it, make sure to comment, like and subscribe.